I couldn't sleep last night. I could hear both sides. It's been rough. Um, I've been rambling in my apartment. They can hear me. Um, I don't even know where to begin. They made a comment. We know he thinks it's funny trying to kill people and killing people. I thought they were talking about Dave. I don't think so. I think it's the people doing it to me. Judge Pete or his son. He thinks it's funny trying to kill people and killing them. Having fun at it. You see these people, they run around like a Charles Manson, Jim Jones group. They follow him like the Ramblers. There's no common sense. I was looking through some YouTube videos, and I've seen this one where this guy had killed his family. Well, her one friend was worried about her, and she called the police because she wouldn't answer the door. She's like, "Can't you go in?" He said, "No, it's the Fourth Amendment over the house. Until I get permission, I can't just go in there." And these people driving by, I said, "Did you hear that out of the officer's mouth?" The two sheriffs I talked to verify it, Maslin Police in Louisville. I showed it to you on the Department of Justice. No one's allowed in your home but those special protected light cases. It's not admissible. And it's just like, it's a 5-year sentence. And then conflict of interest for any police or judges working anything for friends and family. Not only is it not admissible for that, it's 1 to 10 years and up to $1 million fine. And with Judge Pete being friends with Judge Timothy Ludick, he's actually Magistrate Timothy Ludick. He's over that district area. That's why Officer Reinhardt said, "You don't realize that whole county, with him being a county judge, they couldn't say a legal word to you in their life for friends and family. Because Judge Pete was a judge there. Then he's friends with the magistrate. So they couldn't work a case. They couldn't say, well, Dave started dating Judge Pete's daughter. So we broke in and we framed Karen. We drugged her up and told her to say something stupid. We photoshopped her shower scene. They don't realize how big of stupid serial killers they sound. I talked to 2 retired sheriffs. They said these people are sounding stupider and stupider the more you describe them. They are. That whole county couldn't even say, well, we worked a case against Karen. They can't say a legal word to me in my life. I'm telling you, that Ravenna police station will flat out tell them our police did not illegally surveillance Karen. It's the Fourth Amendment. It would be a 5-year sentence and not admissible. We didn't work a case against Karen. That would be a conflict of interest. And they would go to jail 1 to 10 years and up to $1 million fine. Friends and family, they have to excuse themselves from everything against me in my life. That way you don't have to worry about people framing you and seeing drug confessions in doubt. I said, I tried to turn the situation around if it was happening in this town. And there was a county judge and having the police do it to me here. It wouldn't work, or to them. They would all go to jail. You wait, that Ravenna police is going to throw them under the bus. So quick, it's ridiculous. Because cops in uniform, it's hi, sweetie. Never a word. Never prosecuted. Never found guilty. And they can't work a case against me my whole life. And they're not going to say, we went out. Somebody said they were going around trying to get anybody to say anything bad they could find. They can't do that. For one thing, you can't work a case against somebody. You're paid to protect. And just because Dave dates a retired judge's daughter, Dad is friends with a magistrate over that whole district. And for friends and family, 139 judges got 1 to 10 years and up to $1 million fine for not excusing themselves for friends and family. Yeah. So they will tell you flat out, they didn't work a case against me. Nobody said a word. Why would we? Dave was dating Judge Pete's daughter, friends with the magistrate over the district. That would get thrown out. And we would go to the police, it's the same thing. 1 to 10 years. And up to $1 million fine, conflict of interest. But that thing where they said, he thinks it's funny trying to kill people and killing people. It's him, isn't it? Judge Peter's son. They all know he's a killer. You know, excuse me. I bet, and I got to thinking, most Freemasons are businessmen, are wealthy, because they deal with charities, right? And they're mostly lawyers, doctors, judges, and businessmen. How much you want to bet Judge Pete's family, or one of these families, are connected into that Freemason lodge? And where I thought they were helping out, because my grandfather used to be a big shot. How much you want to bet they were helping out because they were lodge buddies? Follow me around. Because besides driving around me, they didn't do anything else. Huh? How much you want to bet they were lodge buddies? And those Freemasons admit to see me on my bedroom in different places in my house. So they got a free caged animal that they torment, hurt, and are trying to kill. And it is free entertainment. Serial killing shit. Somebody already yelled out the other night, we know there's serial killers doing this. They are. These people are not smart enough to be afraid of them. They follow them like they're brainwashed, like Charles Manson Group, Jim Jones. You realize, they wouldn't have to just pull it for Ravenna. Will's case, September 27th, 18. That's some police work. Because my family's there. And when I go there, they drive around. Guy bumped into me March 19th young officer from Maslin had his pullover gun on his walkie-talkie. Uh-huh. Tell Bruce I'll take care of Karen while she's in town. He was over the drug and gang unit. Then my ex put a hit on Dixie and the baby's life. They drive around because they tamper with their vehicles. Yeah. I had a Canton officer. No, they passed me around like a hot potato. Protected like custody. Karen, I'm the one you sing to at night. I used to sing love songs. And I think I have happier times trying to calm down. Okay? So, yeah. Think about that. I want you to think about that. He worked the case. Somebody said it was a state case. Well, you got people pretending they're FBI in Summit County. People drugging them and cutting them up and impersonating federal officers in Portage and Stark. It would be. You got more in one county. I even had 2 Stark County sheriffs at Faith Family Church. They were working security. This one older officer, he's thinner and he's white. I walked by him. He said, "Now that's what I'm talking about." I'm like, "Oh my God!" I was all dressed up, and well, I was volunteering at the bookstore, and one of them came out and said, "Are you interested in working care around the house?" He said, "What's that?" I said, "One of us have to watch her, listen to her every day. They're supposed to also help, not just observe. It's called protection." So any police can pull it because it goes into a main database. Will's case, September 27th, 18, a cop talked to Dave within a day or 2. And it goes into a main protected like custody case. The police have it. All of them do. Just gotta get into it. They have these people dead to rights like the Amishmen at the pyramids. So, with that being said, think about this. He thinks it's funny killing people. And we know he thinks it's funny trying to kill people. These people, some guy said, "I can steal everything she has in life." Other guy's like, "You can't do it." Watch. I can have people help participate. I just looked at it. They failed. They failed on ungodly levels. All these people should have been calling 911, FBI, help Karen. These people are insane. They're hurting her. In the U.S. Supreme Court, 2005, 18-10134. Okay? The military tried it in Guanaco Bay, military prison. Neurochipping, drugging, beat rape, torturing, confessions. They got 20 years. Our U.S. government recognizes remote neuromonitoring and electronic brain links as a legal strategy for the truth done by perpetrators as a heinous crime of assault. And it comes with RICO charges. And President Barack Obama found out about it. And of the way they were being mistreated. Do you know, let me get back to that in a minute, but those judges said they demanded those surveillances, and it was desensitizing in the humor they found in hurting those people. Now, President Barack Obama ordered a remedy. If any government official hurts anyone, They are to make it right with them. It's a federal law. It's called Justice for Victims of Torture and Terrorism Act. They have to make it right with you, and you don't have to sue. Now, I'm going to tell you, some guy came down here yesterday, drove by me from Ravenna. Remember, I'm driving around me and showing up places. He drove by me on Fairlawn Street. Not last night, the night before, two guys walked by. That guy said they never filed anything. Well, they can't. Why? Fourth Amendment, right to privacy. They didn't have a right in my home. They didn't have a court order. There's no such thing. It's not admissible. The only thing can happen, they get 5 years. Police and agencies can only be in a home underneath the threat of life. Failure to notify for initiating and speaking to the other person at home is abuse and misconduct, and failure to protect is abuse and misconduct. And it goes into the right of privacy, Fourth Amendment, illegal search and seizure. That's why Officer Reinhardt giggled. Until we'll take your statement and agree to protect you, there's nothing else. There's nothing else. Nothing else. And a heavy-set cop to talk to Dave. Within a day or two, he didn't know that man went to Paymer either. Or he went and talked to Dave about those people threatening me. And that made Will's case legal. Karen around the house state case. September 27th, 18. And then when it comes to police and judges, you cannot work a case or even try to put accusations against somebody for a conflict of interest. You go to jail 1 to 10 years and up to $1 million fine. No officer is up there is going to say, well, we worked a case without Karen and we framed her. We were part of it because Dave dated Michelle, retired Judge Pete's daughter, and he's friends with the magistrate that's over the district. They're not going to touch us with a 10-foot pole. They're going to throw these people under the bus. Absolutely under the bus, because like Officer Reinhardt said, you don't understand. With it being a county judge, that whole county can't say a word to you. And with him being friends with a district magistrate, they can't. Conflict of interest, friends and family. They would have had to went to the marshals to come knock on my door or to the FBI. Nobody ever said a word. That's where it's amazing. Because it's just the people hurting me. Judge Pete, his family, they're friends. And they corrupted a couple of undercover police officers. Yeah. And nothing they have is admissible. And it's all shit anyways. People not seeing drug confessions and then shower scenes, and then other people seeing drug confessions and no shower scenes. It's ridiculous. They can't look or listen. It would cost them 5 years in jail. And they can't have anybody in that county work a case against me. It's 1 to 10 years. Oh, trust me. Do you think I wouldn't turn them into the Department of Justice in a heartbeat? They're already got, with the neurochipping and the drugs, they already have first-degree attempted murder. And if I die, it's first-degree murder. Like I say, he thinks it's funny trying to kill people. He thinks it's funny killing people. We all know that. I thought they were talking about that. It's not. It's the guy doing it to me. He's a killer. And these people are following like Charles Manson. They told Edit the Oakland apartment, December 9, 21. All the tapes before were them, not her. Wow, what's going on is a group of men doing as many crimes as they can to see if someone will actually stop them. Hunger Task Force, December 9th, 21, white man, bald with dark eyes, distributing food in the back, was one of my guards. Showed up and he walked out. We always knew the tapes before were them, not her. And that's why we never said a word. Well, they weren't going to tell on, or I had bruises. And I was getting sick on drinks. And it was happening way before the FBI. Even the 4th, I was having trouble with short of breath and felt like my heart was racing at times, and I was getting dizzy, and I thought I was working too hard. It wasn't. They were drugging me. 'Cause that's not me. I have drank coffee since I was 15. I dated an older guy. He drank coffee with his friends. So I started drinking coffee, and I've drank it since I was 15. Um, I can drink coffee and lay down and go to sleep. It don't affect me. I would buy giant things of creamer because I like coffee. And I had opened up a creamer, and I used it a day or two. It should have lasted a week. And I went in one morning and I poured in and made a coffee. Sat down, took a few sips, ran in, threw up like crazy, got dizzy and laid down. And I got up and I went to pour it out. It was bubbling like soda, like if you pour pop out. French vanilla creamer does not bubble. Even if it turned bad, it would turn chunky. It wouldn't bubble. And it wouldn't turn bad. The expiration date wasn't bad, and it was fine the day before. You know, one thing, with them stabbing me with needles and getting sick on drinks, I was losing 5 to 7 pounds a week. And I found out if I demanded individual drinks, individual creamers, and I didn't leave Dave alone with my food or drinks, I stopped throwing up and I got on solid food within 30 days. The whole key was controlling what went in my mouth. See, that's where I thought it was him they were talking about. It's not. It's the person doing this to me. You do realize the guy that nurtured me took the 25 grand to kill money. He's a killer. And they're making money off of watching a caged human being tormented until it dies. And they're doing their best to, you know, they're driving by and I know my apartment's bugged. So I'm like looking through YouTube and these 2 little kids kill people. I said, you do realize you're teaching your children to kill people. People scattered. Their actions of today will be their consequences of tomorrow. They're teaching their children it's okay for officers to rape women. They're teaching their children it's okay to extort money. It's okay to stalk them, drug them up, and tell them to say stupid, crazy stuff, and they've never been questioned. They are telling them it's okay to break in a woman's house, stab her with a needle, and tell her to say something stupid. And then it's okay to stab them in the neck and cut their head open. It's okay to rape them. And then we're going to publicly humiliate them and terrorize them until they die because we got money out of it and we're assistant to first-degree murder. It's okay to do this because we're getting paid. Charles Manson Group, Jim Jones, David Koresh. These are just serial killers like this. They announced May 5th, Dr. Tater's office in Mercy Medical at noon. Some guys came in with computers, looked at me and said that's the one we used as an example to process people. Now we can process more. They're selling murder and terrorism online, where they sold the police investigation, where, well, the FBI can uh, put me in police protected custody. Well, they were supposed to protect me. He didn't know they were, some of them were corrupted for a retired judge's daughter and her friends. He didn't look into anything. And hell broke loose up there. Hell broke loose. And these people run around. Oh, they know I'm framed. They admitted to framing me March 24th, 22 on 1:30. They admitted it was a shower scene. In the other room, they admitted it. They drugged me, the church people, the boys in the courthouse, and those 2 armed men. Where I had bruises and hand marks. They were beating me under drugs. Before I called the FBI. They even said where they were putting all this stuff in my drinks, they were actually trying to kill me. I was losing 5 to 7 pounds a week. I couldn't even keep saliva down. I'm lucky to be alive. And now they're doing their death chant, hoping that Chip will kill me. I'm waiting first-degree murder one. Oh, and they do know Melissa's kids lied. My God. Even 2 of the sheriffs, Stark County sheriffs, some weird man named Kurt is involved in this. And some woman ran out of a gas station last year. Oh my goodness, Kurt found out those kids were lying. He's going to kill her. I'm like, Kurt's slow, right? I said that outside the sheriff's. 2 sheriffs walked out, laughed, and looked over at me and said, Kurt just found out those kids were lying. He is slow. He is. And these people, they got caught standing on Thanksgiving of 18. For the house wasn't meant for Grandma, it was meant for Auntie Shell and Papa, and Grandma needs to get out. Okay? And then later on the floor, we're making everything up. Their games to pretend. They're documented me. Games to pretend. Maslin Police verified. Some Canton officer called him. He looked at me and said, no man should never be mean to you again. No man should never, ever be mean to you again. Ever. Never, ever. Or how do you put it? Something like that. No man should ever be mean to you again. And that was last year. Mm-hmm. And they still keep it up because he finds it funny killing people and trying and having their victim in a cage for their friends to torment. A serial killer. Some guy said we already know it's a serial killer doing it to you. The group of men doing it. Who else would do this to a human being? Huh? Most people, if your spouse cheats, they just pay the wife off. I would have left. My God, I would have left. I've never been questioned with Miranda rights. I've never been prosecuted and never found guilty. And trust me, those Ravenna police up there will flat out tell you there's a 4th Amendment. No, we're not in her home. We did not work a case against Karen. Ravenna Police, June of 19. Liberty House share in front of the North Canton Jackson Police. The worst thing you ever did wrong, honey, is bend over and probably we can wipe that one out. They only made fun of the back of my knees. That's why the cop was laughing. Ravenna Police, FedEx, October 2020. For we all know this woman's innocent. For we all know. For we all know. January 25th, 2019, 8 to 10:30 at night. All the police are at the end of the road. One shows up while I'm crying in my room. Telling Dave, the police always knew she was innocent and innocent before. They were talking about it at the station, saying a whole bunch of other stuff, and then said they always knew somebody else did something wrong before. They just didn't rat him out because it was a retired judge corrupting a few undercover police and their friends. Serial killing people. And it's Judge Pete and his son and their friends. And they corrupted a couple cops. And I'm going to tell you, they're not going to say one bad word about me because the officer's in uniform. It's hi, sweetie. That's it. They're not going to say, We try to build a case without Karen. Like Judge Pete's son told him to. Yeah. We didn't do anything against Karen. Because you know why? Because the Fed finds out. And there's that judge's daughter, friends with the magistrate. It's 1 to 10 years and $1 million fine. I talked to 2 retired sheriffs. And and they're like, these people look stupider and stupider the more you describe them. Stupider and stupider. They do. Yeah, when that older guy from Ravenna came down, those 2 guys walked by my apartment. We found out they really didn't file anything. They can't. What they did was illegal. They didn't have a court to watch me. There's no such thing as sodium pentothal reports and drugging somebody up. There's no such thing of putting charges against somebody who's never been questioned, never stood in front of a judge, and never prosecuted. Are you insane? Yeah. It's a fake paperwork to make it look official. Hear them screaming outside? That's the serial killers. They think it's funny driving by screaming. They torment their victim, just like the ones did in Quantico Bay. Hear them? They're sick. They're mentally ill. They have that ASPD order, antisocial personality disorder. You're a sociopath. You don't think laws pertain to you. You think you can do whatever you want and kill and hurt and find it funny and pay people to help out, be murderers. Some guy said he could do this. He said, I'm going to steal everything she has in life. He said, you can't do that. He said, watch. I have people help participate. And I'm looking at them. They failed. Because the first time they even did one thing to me, and they sold the lock, and people should have been blowing up the FBI and the other police departments. Get someone down here to help her. Those people have lost it. And they took payoff money from serial killers. And I'm telling you, how much you want to bet? Why those Freemasons seen me in my bedroom? They were lodge buddies. That's why they were. Only thing they did is follow me around. How much you want to bet? Because they got a free peep show on a woman in basically a cage. And got to watch her be terrorized and being murdered for cheap entertainment. How much you want to bet they're lodge buddies? Because the only thing they did is follow me around. They didn't give me money to get the hell out of here. See what I mean? It wasn't because my grandfather was a big shot. I bet they're lodge buddies. Because all they did is follow me around. Because with their big organization, they could have gave me money here, go start somewhere else. These people are crazy. But they didn't. They just followed me. They're probably lodge buddies. Someone needs to get a hold of this. None of this is